190,000 reservations were made for the 2021 Ford Bronco. No big surprise to me. I think it is the most anticipated vehicle, at least in the past 2 years. So today we're going to talk about all the most popular trim levels and options people are reserving for their Bronco. As we go through this video, I want you to drop down in the comments below if you reserved your own Bronco, what trim level you chose, what options, and what color. So out of that 190,000 reservations, the most popular trim level with 26% of the reservations is the Wildtrak model. Now the Wildtrak model is the most aggressive off-road model you can get. It does come standard with the Sasquatch package, the Bilstein sensitive monotube shocks, 4.7 final drive ratio, high clearance fender flares, you get lockers front and rear, and a host of other options, which we won't dig into right now. But aside from the first edition, is the highest trim level you can get for the hardcore off-roader. Now the second most popular trim level being reserved with 20% of those reservations is the Badlands trim. And that comes in at about 38,000 reservations for this particular trim level. Now this one is also another off-road trim level with the front stabilizer disconnects, the front and rear lockers. You'll also get the advanced 4x4 automatic on-demand engagement. The Copilot 360 technology is also standard with the auxiliary switches, overhead console, front map lightings. Now the Sasquatch package on this is optional, unlike the standard equipment on the Wildtraks, but you can get it on here as well. And the part that excites me about these two particular trim levels is that these are the off-road models. So this tells me that people reserving the Bronco really want to off-road these vehicles, not just turn them into mall crawlers and drive around the streets with them. If you're being equipped and you're buying the off-road packages, you're going to stick this thing in the mud. You're going to throw it on the trails, in the dirt, over hills, whatever you have around you to drive over, under, through, or whatever. This is what the truck was built for, and it excites me that people are actually going to use it for that purpose. The one thing that I was wondering about was how many were going to buy the lower entry trim level that they just wanted to say they had a Bronco and drive around, to the grocery store or the mall and not actually use it. And this tells me that people are excited to get this thing dirty, and that is pretty cool. Now, with that being said, that is 46% of the reservations right there. The other 54% of that 190,000 reservations are for the lower level models, such as the Outer Banks and such. But that's not a bad thing either, because as we know, this Sasquatch package can be put on any trim level. And it does seem that people are doing that, because Ford states that just under half of all reservations were requested with the Sasquatch package. Now to me personally, I think that is a must on the Bronco. It makes it look completely different, even if we're just going for aesthetics. It gives you the lift kit, the bigger tires, the beadlock wheels. It just looks amazing. Not saying that the other ones don't, but let's be honest. If you have an off-road dedicated vehicle, you want it to look like an off-road vehicle, and that's what it does. Not only giving you more obvious off-road capability, ground clearance, and all this other stuff, but to me, it's like without it, it kind of looks incomplete. And I don't want to sound insulting to anyone who didn't get the Sasquatch package, because the Bronco is still a good looking vehicle, but with that package, it just looks menacing. Now, I wish I had numbers on the 2.3 versus 2.7 liter engine options on who was buying that, but I don't. If I can get a hold of them, or if you know what they are, drop them down in the comments and let us know. I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. But I did find out that 10% of the people who opted for the 2.3 liter engine got the 7-speed manual transmission. Now that is really good. I know 10% does not sound like a lot, but they're saying on average across the board on similar scenarios, the manual transmission only sells 2%. So Ford seems to be extraordinarily happy with the sales of the manual. It's higher than expected, which is exciting too, because save the manuals. You gotta have at least that option, even if it's not the top seller. People still love manuals. They want to have the option of getting a manual if they want it. So I'm excited to see that 10% of those sales are the manual transmission. Now, as far as the four-door versus the two-door, Ford said that 2/3 of all reservations were for the four-door model. Now, honestly, I am not overly surprised about that because people are going to want to use this every day. There are families out there with kids who need the extra space, so that doesn't surprise me. A lot of Jeep owners are doing the same, buying the four-door. I see more four-door Jeeps on the road than I do two-door. This doesn't surprise me at all. But what Ford was surprised with was the amount of reservations for the two-door. They expected even less two-door option reservations than they actually got. So that is selling even better than they expected as well. Now, I wish I had other data such as like the color options that people are going with, but I don't have that information. Again, I was looking for it. I couldn't find it. If you have it, or if you know someone that does, or a link to it, throw it down in the comments. We all want to see that as well. But this is super exciting. I need to find a way to get this Bronco. I know I got the GT500, and maybe when the time comes, I'll trade it in on one of these Broncos, but that is, it's still so far down the road. We're still waiting what seems like forever for this Bronco to hit the showroom floors. But here's my other reservation. Do you buy the first year or do you wait? Because I know one thing we got coming yet is still the Warthog, and the Warthog is like the Raptor version of the Bronco. And it makes me wonder, you know, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, whatever, everybody holds off on the big options. You know there's always going to be more coming. So do you wait for those other options, or do you grab the first wave because you're excited? Because again, the Warthog is coming next. Something tells me, I don't know why, I feel like there might actually be a V8 option coming down the road. They're making a bigger deal of the 7.3 liter engine that they're using. It's in the F-250. Now they're talking about a 6.8 that they're going to possibly maybe put in the Mustang. Something tells me one of those engines may go into the Bronco. That would be pretty awesome. I would love to see the 7.3 in the Bronco. The Coyote overall would be kind of neat, but I think it's overly too, the size alone is just, it's a massive motor. The 7.3 I think is a little bit smaller and could fit in that Bronco. I know they're still talking about the 4-liter that was in the Explorer ST, but I think if we wait a little longer, we might actually get a V8 in there. I know they said they weren't going to do it. I know they said it wasn't going to happen, but I think with enough request, it could happen. So drop your comments down below on what you think of all the trim levels. What did you reserve? Did you get the 2.3? Did you get the 2.7? The automatic? The manual? The Badlands model, the Outer Banks trim? What did you get? What color combinations? 2-door, 4-door? I want to hear it all down in the comments below. If you haven't already, drop a like on the video, hit that subscribe button for more automotive news and content, and I'll catch you in the next upload.